Today, I couldn't stop thinking about this. A Shona proverb from Zimbabwe that says, "When the roots are deep, the tree does not fear the wind." It means when you truly know who you are, when you understand where you come from, when your spirit is anchored deeply in your identity. No storm, no matter how fierce, can uproot you. You may bend with the winds of hardship. You may lose your leaves to the trials of life, but you will never fall. The Shona teach us this because strength comes from being grounded. It's a powerful reminder. Knowing who you are and where you come from is the source of true power. So ask yourself today, what are you rooted in? If you take time to listen to the voices of our elders, to the whispers carried in African proverbs, you'll find a truth that humbles and challenges. Even the best cooking pot will not produce food. This proverb echoes across many African cultures, from the Yoruba to the Akan and beyond. It's a lesson wrapped in simple words, but its meaning runs deep. You can own the finest pot, but until you light the fire, gather the right ingredients, and stir with purpose, nothing will cook. Now think about Africa. We have the minerals, the mines, the land, the youth. We have the pot, but having potential alone doesn't serve a meal. We own the pot, yet others collect the harvest, others light the fire, and others eat first. And we cheer when they say our ingredients taste good. Meanwhile, our youth are hungry, not just for food, but for opportunity. We still live by colonial laws in post-colonial nations. But here's the truth, the pot won't cook itself. Look, potential is not progress. Wealth is not power until we claim it, shape it, and use it. So I ask you, what fire are you lighting? What change are you willing to spark? I came across this Akan proverb from Ghana. You cannot curse the forest and still expect shade. It simply means that what you disrespect, you lose. And it hit me, because in Africa today, we are doing exactly that. We insult our languages, but cry when our children lose their identity. We call the village undeveloped, then run there for peace when the city drains our soul. We've stripped our lands bare for quick profit, then wonder why the seasons have changed. We've discarded the community for gated houses, then wonder why no one comes to help when we are being attacked. We're abandoning our traditional diets for processed foods, then act surprised when sickness finds us so easily. We reject our elders' wisdom, but pay strangers for advice that doesn't heal our spirit. We've replaced storytelling with endless TV shows, then ask why our children's minds are being diverted. We've traded cultural pride for Western validation, then wonder why we never feel enough, why we are not respected. We've abandoned the land for office jobs, then cry about the cost of food that is strangling us. This proverb is a warning. If you spit on the very things that shelter you, don't be surprised when you're left standing in the sun with no shade at all. Do you know where this African proverb is from? A man must hold his manhood for his urine to have direction. It might sound funny at first, but don't laugh too quickly, because this is one of the most brutally honest lessons about life, responsibility, and self-discipline. And here's what it means. Just like a man must guide his urine or else it goes everywhere, you must guide your actions or your life becomes chaotic. In short, direction requires intention. Nothing flows properly unless you take control. It's a powerful call to accountability. Whether you're leading a household, raising children, building a dream, or simply navigating daily life, this proverb reminds you that no one else can take charge of your choices. Discipline begins with you. So before you point fingers at life, ask yourself, am I in control or am I just leaking blame? Have you ever wondered what truly shapes a person beyond what they're taught in books or classrooms? There's a proverb from the Akan people of Ghana that puts things into perspective. What you help a child to love can be more important than what you help him to learn. It's not just about what facts or skills we teach the next generation. It's about what we teach their hearts to cherish, their culture, their land, their people, because knowledge without love can be empty. A child who learns their history but does not love it will leave it behind. But a child who learns to love their grandmother's stories, the rhythm of their own language, the feeling of their name when spoken in their mother tongue, that child becomes a guardian of something powerful. Because love is what makes knowledge stick. Love gives memory a purpose. Love makes tradition sacred, not just old. As parents of African children, ask yourselves, what are you helping African children to love today? Are you helping them love foreign cultures more than their own? Are you letting screens and systems teach them to admire everything but who they are? So before you focus only on what children should learn, ask yourselves, what are you helping them love? Because love is the true foundation of lasting knowledge and identity. And if we want our children to become the future we envision for Africa, they must truly love Africa first. You cannot see your reflection in running water, only in stillness. This is a Tswana proverb from Botswana. Our ancestors understood something we've forgotten. When the river is rushing, the surface is broken. The reflection is distorted. You can stare into it, but you'll never truly see yourself. Life today feels the same. We are always rushing, scrolling, hustling, comparing. Our days are filled with noise so loud, we mistake movement for progress. But the truth is, clarity never comes in chaos. It comes in stillness. The elders knew this. That's why African traditions placed value in silence, in moments of pause. The hunter sits quietly before the hunt. The healer listens to the silence before speaking. The elder pauses so that wisdom can rise from within before words leave the mouth. Because when you are still, the water clears. And only then can you face your true reflection. Only then can you know who you are. Just think for a moment. When was the last time you sat in stillness? Here is a Yoruba proverb with a very profound message. Wisdom is not like money to be tied up and hidden. You see, in most African communities, wisdom was never meant to be possessed. It was entrusted. From the diviners to the blacksmiths, from the midwives to the drummers, each person held a piece of knowledge that was meant to serve the whole. Our ancestors said this because they had seen what happens when knowledge is withheld. When the old refuse to teach, the young walk blind. When the healer takes secrets to the grave, sickness multiplies. When the wise stay silent, foolishness becomes law. They were reminding us, your knowledge is not your own. It was given to you by those who walked before, and it must pass through you to those who are yet to be born. So when you learn, teach. When you understand, explain. Because wisdom locked away serves no one, but wisdom shared builds nations. Let the fire continue. Let the circle remain unbroken. Follow us on TikTok and YouTube for more untold truths and ancestral wisdom from the motherland. And before you scroll, tell me in the comments, what lesson do you feel responsible to pass on? Have you ever noticed how African elders rarely said things directly? They'd pause, look you in the eye, and say something like, a man who uses force is afraid of reasoning, and leave it at that. No context, no explanation. You see, in African culture, proverbs weren't just sayings. They were a way to speak truth without causing conflict. A language that could pierce without wounding. Proverbs were our diplomacy. Elders didn't say, you're wrong, or you're being foolish. They let the proverb speak for itself. It was like telling the truth, with a soft landing. But it wasn't just about being polite. Proverbs weren't designed to give you answers. They were meant to raise questions. They forced you to pause, to reflect, to read between the lines. Elders used them not to test your memory, but to test your wisdom, because the meaning often depended on context and the wisdom of the one who heard it. Proverbs were mirrors, and if you looked closely, you'd see exactly what they were trying to show you. Follow us on TikTok and YouTube for more truths about the motherland.